51 millimeters. Hello everybody, I am Tom from Tom's Coffee Corner, and today we're going to take a look at the Delonghi Dedica, and I'm hoping to make this a reference video for you. Now, most of the things that we're talking about today are going to apply to the Delonghi Dedica, but also to other small Delonghi machines. We're going to talk about accessories that I recommend, as well as some common questions. At the end, we'll do a demo as well. So let's just get right on into it. This right here is the Delonghi Dedica EC680. Everything I'm talking about here really applies also to the next models, the EC685 and the EC885. Now, the first question that people have been asking pretty often is, how do you pull another shot after having steamed milk? All right, in this case, you can see that the lights are both still flashing because I had just actually steamed this milk right here. And so we can't pull another shot until we cool down the boiler, which is right, or the thermal block, which is right over there. So all we have to do is flip the lever. Then it's going to put some cold water through there and cool it down. It will stop automatically, as you see, and then you can just flip the switch back up. Now you are good to go. Okay, let's move on to the next question. People have asked, what is the thermal block made out of? Is it aluminum or steel? What is it? And what it is a big block of aluminum, but inside is a stainless steel line. That's what gets hot, and that's where the water flows through, is through the stainless steel tube. So you don't have to worry about that. It is a combination of stainless steel, which is where the water goes, and it's inside a block of aluminum. The third question that people ask many times is, does it really get up to 15 bar? And is that proper? First, no, it's not proper. What you want is actually closer to 9 bar. And no, that is just a marketing ploy to write on the box 15 bar or 20 bar. This system does not get up to 15 bar. And we're going to take a look at that right now. So I've got this manometer. So what we're doing here is blocking the system. Then we're going to see what is the maximum pressure that we get up to. Pre-infusion. Okay, so you see that the system maxes out in this case at 12.5 bar, but it's not 15 bar. And that is also not the pressure that you're going to be extracting espresso with, because here we've completely closed the system. However, when we're making coffee, the coffee puck itself is what creates the pressure. So in that case, we can get 8 or 9 bar, no problem. Something else that people often ask on the channel is, what are the sizes of things? What size portafilter is this that I'm using? What size tamper is this? And what size basket? So everything in the Delonghi line, whether that's the Dedica or the ECP 3420 or the La Specialista, everything is 51 millimeters. Okay, just a couple more quick bangers about this machine. How often should you descale it? I would say a minimum of once every 2 to 3 months. If you're in an area with hard water, do it every month. Try to use soft water or Brita filtered water if you can. As far as size goes, a good size pitcher to use with this machine is a 400 milliliter or a 14 ounce pitcher. Let's move on to the interesting part, recommended accessories. How can you make this machine better than it is out of the box? The very first thing I recommend is always a bottomless portafilter like this one. This one right here is from Normcore. It does come with a basket as well. This is a cheap basket and it works just fine. I get great extractions. The pucks, they knock out perfectly, but the issue is that over time it does degrade and the bottom starts to bow out a little bit. So if you want to get something that's a little bit higher quality, there's an Italian company called IMS, and IMS makes these beautiful baskets here. So this is an IMS basket that I'm using right now. This is a 51 millimeter basket, and I use this one in all of my Delonghi machines. These baskets are a little pricey. They'll run between $25 and $35, but they are excellent. They also make a second one for the Delonghi, for the Delonghi 51 millimeter brew group, and it's this guy called Hue. This is another IMS basket that's pretty much the same as the other basket, except for that the top lip here is more rounded. So the fit is tighter on the Hue as it is on the traditional IMS basket. But they both work great. They both make excellent extractions and really good puck knockouts. So those are really the two most important aftermarket parts that you can get to upgrade your machine. And the reason that I like bottomless portafilters so much is that you have an immediate optical feedback about what's going on in your shot. Did I grind fine enough? Am I using fresh enough beans? Is there any channeling? Plus, it looks really nice. Before we move on, let's talk about one more thing. Let's stick with the brew group, and there is something here on the bottom that distributes the water. That's called the shower plate or the shower screen, and we do also have a nice aftermarket mod for that as well. So you'll see that on the stock OEM model, it's just a bunch of punched holes spaced out evenly, whereas on the IMS model, we've got groups of holes punched out. Those are groups of 7 holes that have been punched out. So it probably offers slightly better thermal stability as well. So this is also quite nice to use. Now, whether or not you can tell a difference in taste between the one shower screen or the other, that's going to be kind of up to you. I don't think that my palate is refined enough to notice a difference, but I think some people probably will. And it certainly is a higher quality, nicer looking part. So if you want, you can consider this. I'm going to put links to all of the accessories that I'm using here in the description down below. If this video has been helpful for you at all so far, please give it a like so that it goes to other people. And if you like videos like this one, then consider subscribing to the channel. All right, the next thing that we need, a proper tamper. This is a nice 51mm tamper, and you need a tamping surface. And now, as far as doing your puck preparation is concerned, a funnel is also really nice so that you don't make such a mess. So I got this funnel here. It's just a cheap little aluminum funnel that I've got. There are many manufacturers. You can just choose one of your liking. They all serve the same purpose, just to, when you're grinding, get all the grinds into the basket and not all over your countertop. Finally, we've got a WDT tool. Now, these have gained a lot of traction on YouTube, and I think in the espresso communities over the last few years. And what this does is it just helps to distribute the grinds better. So if you've got a grinder that grinds clumpy, or if you've got like a mound of grinds, you can really distribute this nicely so that the density of the grounds is distributed more homogeneously across the puck. Before we go any further, the last thing that I forgot to mention is to have a proper scale, one that measures to 1/10 of a gram. This is a Time More Black Mirror, and this does both that, plus has a rechargeable battery with USB-C on the side, and it will also time your shot for you. So that's pretty convenient, and I think it offers a lot of features for the price. Let's talk for a minute about dose. Here we've got on the right side a fancy IMS double basket. And here on the left, we've got a pretty nice Greif basket that's a single. Now, when we talk about dose, we need to fit in the amount that these were made for. So this was made for in between 14 and 16 grams. You'll see that that's just about what it fits in there. 14 and a half. You can sometimes fit up to 16 and a half even in there. Now, as for the single, that's going to be closer to 7 or 8. 8 is a proper fit for the single. Now, the reason that that matters is because if you have too few beans, for example, in the double, if you try to make a single in this double basket, it's just not going to work because you just have way too much space there in between the top of the puck and the top of the basket. It's going to fill with too much water. It's just not going to extract properly. Now, when it comes to choosing, do I want a double or do I want a single? That may depend on your personal situation. If you want to save a little money, you can go with the single, or if you don't want that much caffeine, you can do that. But I prefer the double because it is much easier, much more forgiving to extract with the double than with the single. All right, the next thing we're going to do is compare these two baskets. Here we've got a $5 cheap basket, a generic one, and here we got the fancy $30 IMS basket, and the IMS basket has got 16.5 grams in there. So let's try these both out at the same grind setting here on the DF83 and with the same dose, and let's see how it works out. All right, this is the fancy IMS basket. We are tiered out, and we're going to try to aim for 33 grams and see how long that takes us. 10 grams, 20 grams, and 33 grams and 28 seconds. All right, just for reference, I'm using these beans right here. They're about 3 months off of roast date, so not the freshest, but they still do provide a pretty good shot because they're high quality beans. So let's throw those in the DF83 now with the cheap basket. But see, the cheap basket has got that 2 inside. Because of the 2, we have some issues. For example, the funnel doesn't want to fit in there properly because the 2 is indented, which is a little bit too bad. That's also going to give us some issues with tamping, unfortunately. Now let's try this one out. Okay, here we are cleared out as well, and we're going to see how the shot compares. Again, this is the cheap basket. $10 grams, 20 grams, and 33 grams right there. 26 seconds, so just a little faster. I attribute that to not being able to tamp all the way deep enough into the basket, but also a nice shot. $10 grams, 10 grams, 20 grams, 20 grams, and let's make a cappuccino. All right, let's go into steam mode and make ourselves a cappuccino. I've got this little jug here, this 400 milliliter jug filled up about halfway. It's about 150, 200 milliliters. Let us first get rid of the condensation. And now we can start steaming. Now the principles here are the same whether you have your machine modded or not. First you want to get your tip just in the milk, at the top of the milk, off to the side as well. If you put this into quadrants, you want to be in one quadrant because you want to spin it around. Alright, so there you can see I'm injecting air, and at the same time I've got the steam one place off to the side so that the milk churns. You can see it churning round and round. It's going counterclockwise. And that's what you want. You want to keep doing that. And then you can actually put the tip in a little deeper into the milk to get it incorporated better. Once it gets too hot to touch here on the sides, then you're ready. Now we're going to pour our espresso in. It helps to also swirl the espresso to break up the crema, that surface tension on top. There we go, got a little leaf on there. Not too shabby. All right, there you go, a beautiful cappuccino made with the Delonghi. Alright guys, so today we've talked about common questions with the Delonghi Dedica. We've talked about nice accessories that you can use, and these pretty much all have to do with 51mm group heads. And now it's up to you guys. Do you have any more questions? I'd be happy to answer them. Just put them in the comment section down below. I hope that you guys liked this video and that it was helpful for you. If so, give it a like and check out my other videos. If you like what you see, subscribe to the channel. It's totally free. Until next time, I say happy coffee drinking and happy espresso drinking. Bye now.